everyone, and welcome to our session on differentiating between outputs and outcomes in product management. While working with organizations, I have noticed that outputs are often confused with outcomes. Products and companies are mostly focused on outputs and company impacts, and outcomes seem to be ignored. That's why I thought that this topic might be really relevant for all product people, for leaders, for Scrum teams as well, to distinguish between those two terms. So first, let's clarify what we mean by outputs and outcomes. Outputs are the immediate products or services and resulting from our activities. So think of them as the what you produce. Outcomes, on the other hand, are the effects these outputs have on your customers or your users. So they represent the why behind your product efforts. For example, if a team develops a new software feature, that feature is an output. It's tangible and directly created by the team's efforts. Again, outputs are the direct results of our actions or activities, and they are tangible and measurable. So imagine a company launches a new software application. The app itself, with all its features and functionalities, represents an output. It's something specific and concrete that the company produces. Those outputs are easy to count and track, but do they tell the whole story about the value we create? Let's take a look at my examples. Examples of outputs. Some of them can be measured as a velocity, as number of features, number of bugs, lines of code, deliverables, documentation, etc., etc. And now think about it in that way. We delivered hundreds of features or functionalities. We delivered plenty of documentation, so plenty of deliverables. And now let's think, how much value we delivered? Do we know it? Actually not. Actually we're not, because this is not the whole story about the value we create. So now let's consider the outcome. If this application makes it easier for users to manage their tasks, leading to increased productivity, their productivity, it's important, then improved productivity is the outcome. It's all about the effect the app has on the users' lives. So the outcome is how that feature improves users' experience or efficiency for its users. It's about the impact, which can sometimes be less visible, but it's ultimately more significant. So outcomes are about the measurable changes in behavior and the benefits that customers experience from using our products or service. And why focus on customer outcomes? Because outcomes tell us about the real value our product delivers. They help us see beyond the completion of tasks and guide us towards making a meaningful difference. So focusing solely on outputs can lead to a tick box culture where completing tasks becomes more important than delivering real benefits. So let's take a look at those explanations. Outcomes are customers' user desired experience. This is what they really want, and we can measure it by changes in their behavior. And remember that positive outcome improves user experience. Those are benefits that customers can receive from using a product or a service. Let's take a look at some concrete examples. So, measuring outputs, coming back to outputs topic for a while, is relatively straightforward. How many units did we produce? How many features did we implement? And outcomes, however, require a deeper look. How have these outputs improved our customer satisfaction? They often require longer-term observations and feedback to assess their true impact. But this effort is crucial because it ties our work to real-world improvements. So we need to observe our users, interview them, have just conversations with them sometimes, prototyping with them, asking them, and mostly, of course, observing them to define what, in our context, is the true outcome for them. Because we don't know. We just assume that something will be for them valuable, but we really don't know. And otherwise, we will be delivering only outputs and hoping that maybe this output will bring some outcomes for our users. Here are some examples. So consider these specific outcomes. So for example, based on our research, but based on experimentation, we found that we need to increase in providing hope for our user, let's say 30-something%. And they want to, our users, they want to save money using our products. And let's reduce it by 25%. Of course, those numbers are just examples, but we should know concrete numbers, what we are striving for. And creating, for example, a 15% enhanced sense of belonging for our user because it's for them important. Or even reducing their anxiety related with something, related with, for example, security of our solution. And these figures illustrate the effect our work can have on users' lives, going beyond the functionality of a product to touch on deeper, more meaningful benefits for them. So aligning your team around outcomes rather just outputs encourages everyone to think about the bigger picture. So my advice is here, start by setting clear outcome-oriented goals. Of course, those outcomes must come from like their satisfaction gaps or something that is really desirable by our, of course, users or customers. Engaged with those users and customers, understand their challenges and what changes they seek. Also, another key point here is that the more outcomes you are going to deliver, more business value you are going to have. So, for example, more happy users, more satisfied customers, more business value, which can mean, depends of course on the context, which can mean what? Maybe more revenue, depends on the context. Maybe more engaged users using our platform. Maybe more recommendations, or maybe just cost avoiding or cost saving, depends on, of course, how we are going to define business value. So, in summary, while outputs are necessary and easy to measure, outcomes are what truly matter. And they are just the ultimate or indicators of our success and reflecting the actual benefits and value we deliver. And also, they are impactful when it comes to our company impact, in other words, business value. So it's really worth to rethink it, and thank you for joining me today. And I encourage you to rethink what and how you measure value in your product.